glow, coffee cold, mind's woke, 2 mics, 1 code, yeah. Scrolling through the chaos, headlines loud, hearts numb, then I hear that drip talk. Cutting through the hum, gem with the side-eye, true stain with the data in his cup. They don't just gas up dreams, they show you how to level up. Oh, from the hustle to the headlines, from the culture to the grind. Every angle, every timeline, they lace and never waste your time. Welcome to the daily drip, let it run, let it run, let it hit. Oh, tech and politics, stacking common sense, turn it up, feel it in your chest, clicking, let your future flip like describe your own ascent, every gem, every take, every tip, yeah. They make it make sense, yeah. I'm tired from the doom feed, faith in Rethink, algorithm playing mind games, selling you the same quick fix, then I catch that real talk about credit scores and crypto slips, union fights and AI rights, and why your boss be talking slick. Left lane, right lane, truth rise in the same frame. If it's cap, they call names. If it's facts, they fan flames. Oh yeah. Welcome to the daily drip. Let it run, let it run, let it run, let it hit. Tech and politics, stacking common sense. Turn it up, feel it in your chest, clicking. Let your future flip like describe your own ascent. Every gem, every take, every tip, yeah. They make it make sense, yeah. From your psychic to your 9 to 5, from the group chat to the bottom line. There's a late night guide through the glitch and grind. If you listen close, you gon' change your life, change your life. Welcome to the daily drip. Let it run, let it run, let it run, let it hit. Hey, tech and politics, stacking common sense. Turn it up, feel it in your chest, clicking. Let your future flip like subscribe to your own ascent. Every gem, every take, every tip. Our daily drip, they make it make sense.
Welcome to our Daily Drip Show. I am your co-host, Jim Jones. Welcome to another episode. Along with me and riding along and always with me is my co-host, Plain Dame. Say hello to the people.
Hey, what up, world? What's going on? Happy Friday.
And in the background, we got Cassius Pays on the ones and twos and helping to make sure everything flows so nicely. So thanks for dripping with us with this late night drip. Cassius Pays, say hello to the people. Nope, he ain't got nothing to say because that's what he do. So y'all, we are our Daily Drip Show. And make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. It is free, don't cost you nothing. Hit that subscribe button. But if you're a little bit skeptical, hang around, we got a great show. All the socials are down at the bottom. So we got the house cleaning out the way. All right, y'all. Plain Name, you got anything before we get into everything?
Nothing. Just feeling good. Just happy to be here. It was an interesting week, Interesting week in media as well, which we definitely about to dive into. You guys are in for a very, very interesting show tonight. I bet you that.
Yep. So grab your drink. Got mine. Let us know what's in your cup. Drops a drip in the comments. Continue to interact with us in the comments. Very much appreciate y'all. But brace yourselves because the world is tracking at a chaotic 100 miles per hour today. So let's go ahead and dive into a little bit of that madness. We're starting out with the government is reminding us that Social Security. Y'all know who's going to start with the money. Who's going to start with the money? Social Security is projected to completely run out by 2032. So that's right, y'all. My retirement plan is now officially a hope for a rich husband. or to win the lottery. But honestly, neither's really looking too good. So listen, because look, the anthem right now is "Where am I scamming?" Listen, so ain't nobody got no money. Ain't nobody got no money. Ain't nobody about to get no money at this point, which is crazy. That's just it. That's what's going on. So let's go ahead and get into the money. All right, y'all. No thanks, YouTube Premium. I'm not trying to pay for you today. You know why? Because I need to hit the lottery first.
A serious warning about the millions of dollars Americans rely on for retirement. More than 62 million people get benefits from the Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund. A new government analysis says in just 6 years, the fund will only have enough money to pay 78% of its scheduled benefits. Now, this calls for CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger to break it all down for us. So explain to us, how does all of this work?
Okay.
Y'all hear that? and so Levy, before she get into the money, because she gonna break it all the way down, Social Security, you start paying that when you start working, right? So if you are, let's say this year is your first year of having a job, cool. Essentially, you putting into something that you ain't never gonna get. For those of us who have worked for a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, they say it ain't no more money left. Let's find out more.
Social Security is a pay-as-you-go system, meaning workers pay for the people who are retired. So you're working hard right now. You see that FICA tax come out, 6.2% of your pay. Your boss matches 6.2% of the pay. That goes to pay for your grandma's Social Security benefits. When there were tons of baby boomers working, we built up extra money that we didn't actually have to pay out. There were so many people working. Now, flipped on its head, the boomers are all retiring. Now we don't have enough money of all those reserves that built up to actually pay out the promised benefits. So,
okay, so we're gonna pause that real quick. Shout out to Malachi. Thanks for dropping some drip in the chat. We appreciate you so much. So what she just described is, we talked about this on the show before. We talked about the impact of the lack of replenishing population, basically. And a lot of people are like, I'm not having no kids, or I'm only having 1 kid, which it's okay. You can do what you want to do. But historically, people used to have 3, 4, 5 kids. Think about it. How many people did y'all grow up with where they had families of 5s and 6s? Like, people had like a gang of kids, like 3, 4, 5, 6 kids was not abnormal.
Yeah, it was normal. Was 3 to 4 kids. That was normal.
Correct. Yeah. And now it's 1 to 2. So if you think about it, if everybody you know having, 2 kids max, and it used to be everybody had 3 to 4 kids max, you're like, the people to basically keep making the machine go has cut in half. That means that we really only had half the time. And then it also makes you question Social Security. We talked about other benefits that use Social Security as well. So more people are dipping in the pool, and more people are not putting into the pool, causing some of these impacts.
Yeah, a lot of people
go to work
that's been getting benefits that damn shows. Listen, I don't want to get into specifics, but I know somebody who never worked a day in their life.
Me too.
Never worked ever.
Yes, I've heard people who are boomers that have never worked. Boomers, yeah, I've known boomers who never worked. It's crazy.
You know, due to an injury, you know what I mean? And because they will never work again, but didn't work in the first place, they getting a check. You know what I mean? So the rest of us, we just gotta, first of all, cost of living is great. Yeah, the cost of living alone is hindering you from really saving like you need to. Jobs are not paying according to what the cost of living is looking like. So I guess we just gonna age, donate plasma, and we all gonna be at the damn bingo hall trying to figure it out. Because
you'll be on that OnlyFans showing your home girl, look at my feet. That's how I make this extra money, girl. All you gotta do is go on this website with a little whoop-de-whoop.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we get some of this money. Just like that.
I think it costs $2 to see your grandma, dude.
It's crazy. So we're gonna go ahead and let her keep cooking.
Yeah.
This is a really important issue because we've been warning about this probably for about a dozen years, and it takes Congress to act. So it is not that the system is going broke, it's that those excess reserves that built up, those are going to be depleted.
So what happens in 2032?
Okay, so magic year 2032, which is oddly close to the year I would be claiming Social Security. What happens is the way Social Security is structured is that it automatically would mean that there are cuts to the promised benefits.
Right.
So that would mean a 22% reduction automatically going into effect. So can I just play this out?
Yeah.
Most Americans on average receive, let's say, a $2,000 monthly check.
Right.
That would mean as of 2032, you get a lopped off amount and it is reduced by 22%. So it's no longer your $2,000, right? It's now $1,540.
That's significant.
And that is so important. That's the part. So even if you've already claimed benefits, for people who are like, oh my God, I'm going to claim early, no matter what, every single person will take a 22% reduction.
So can anything be done to fix this? And are there any immediate actions?
Okay, so number one, it is fixable. It requires Congress. That may mean that you feel like, oh my God, it's not fixable. Pound the phones, pound the emails, send your political representatives a note saying, I'm worried about this.
I've been saying this for years.
Absolutely. Okay, so what can they do? They can actually increase the amount of money on which FICA taxes are paid. That's the wage base. It can go from about $184,000. We could lift it to, say, $300,000. I know, not going to make a lot of people happy, but we have to pay for the system. We could actually say, hey, you know what? People have to work longer. But again, this is a tough one because if you are a blue collar worker and I'm saying, yeah, you got to work till you're 75, that doesn't make so much sense.
Yeah.
Congress can fix the problem. Get on it. For right now, go to ssa.gov and check out your own benefit. Make sure you're registered in the system.
She said a lot in that.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
So let me break one part down. Y'all can do what you want with the rest of it. She said you can go to your Congress and you could tell them, hey, we need changes. You can increase so we have money in there. Y'all heard she said it's 6%, right? So she like, do 12. It's like, what?
What kind of inflation is this?
You see what I'm saying? I'm like,
man, nah, that ain't gonna work.
Nah, listen, y'all gonna have to figure out the stock market, whatever y'all got to do with a 401k. But when she says, oh, you can just increase, basically saying increase taxes on everybody because you're basically putting in for the future. But that's not true because if the generation behind me is less people, they have less to put in. I'm just putting in for y'all grandma today. Right? Like that, that's increases to 12% so we can pay for people today. But that ain't got nothing to do with me tomorrow. That's my take on that.
Or reroute a lot of the money that's going to a lot of these damn government slush funds that we keep hearing about. Round it back there. Cut off a few countries that were actually quote unquote helping. Let's get into that. Let's get knee deep in that forensic accounting that folks tried to do once upon a time and was asking a lot of questions about. A lot of money going elsewhere that could be rerouted right here into this country. Lots of it from what we're seeing. So I don't know.
There's that. Yeah. Also the rules on who gets money out that budget. Because like you said, right? Like, I think, like it depends on what is all coming out that budget. I suspect that, if you get like a SSI check, right? Like that's coming out that same budget. Do all the reasons for SSI check need to come out that budget? Because they not like Social Security is supposed to be for like retirement, right? Like, why don't we have a separate thing for something else at this point? Like, we need to separate that because everybody's working for this thing over here. That to me is different than what's going on over here, where we're supporting resources for folks. Like, that's different than like people literally put in for this purpose. To me, that's the issue here. It needs to be two separate, different things. Go ahead, Cash Spade.
Okay, well, I'm not totally on the doom and gloom train with this whole piece because running out is not the same. There's two things that are happening. She
said a reduction.
Yeah, so a reduction, but everybody else will see it as the spigot getting turned off. So, that turns into a partial benefit instead of like zero checks. And that just changes the planning math over ending a system outright, which some people thought that was supposed to be 401ks, the depletion of our unions and those other places that would provide us with benefits like Teamsters, things like that, where people had pensions.
Right.
So what I always like to do is I like to turn into like a self-empowerment angle to it, right? So treat Social Security as like a reduced base layer. So it's not a full retirement plan. You already know how I go because my name is Cassius. So, it's somewhere where you increase your cash reserves when you can. Reduce your fixed expenses. That's usually the crux of a lot of people's issues where they have a spending or overspending problem.
That's the first thing they got to do.
And these aren't necessarily the times for that. Yeah, like as soon as you get older, you're on a fixed income. Credit cards, I mean, those are fluctuations. They gotta go unless you're gonna use them for leverage and points, things like that, where you can pay them off. So
a lot of people don't do it.
Well, yeah. That's
but
really and another thing is to have your money work for you. If not, then if you can now look at forward thinking as far as running a business that can work for you. This is going to be emergence of the and sons again, I believe. Right?
You said that before too.
Yeah. I mean, people are going to run away from bigger companies because it's no longer viable to do that.
Because the mom and pops
coming back. Yeah,
the mom and pops was like, honestly, 70s and 80s. That's how people survived. Well, nobody thinking about the big box companies. Everybody was thinking about helping Harry and Margaret down the street because they had they had their own drugstore. Plus, they had groceries in there, and it was at a reduced rate compared to going to the bigger chains. I mean, that's what happens. I remember Finest back in the day. Everybody remember? I don't know. Remember Finest? It's undergone so many different owners. You didn't go to Finest unless you about to do some big stuff. You know what I mean? But your everyday stuff and the cigarettes, beer and wine, and potato chips, cookies, and maybe some stovetop stuffings. That's got to come back. That's got to come back in a big way. But you also got to reduce your expectations of where your money should take you once you retire. The whole point of retiring is to take it slow, live lower. Or as my man Ali Sadiq would say, Cadillac.
Cadillac.
Relax.
Shout out to Elon. Shout out to Elon in the chat right there. Shout out to you. We appreciate the positive energy and the positive comments as well. Please make sure you like and subscribe. If you're not subscribed, please do so. We do this every Friday night with that late night drip, usually around 11:30 p.m. EST. So make sure you pull up and continue to be a part of the Odd Squad. We appreciate you very, very much. I'm gonna add one little piece and then we'll go to the next thing. We're gonna go ahead and get into what's our next thing? We're gonna get into Iran in a minute. About money saving real quick. I had a mentor give me a tip on a book. She gave me the book. I'm gonna have to read this book. My goal is this week to read this book completely. But she said in the book, it tells you for every hour wage you make, you should save an hour's worth of your pay a day. And that's how you save. Because you should be able to give yourself 1 hour of your pay a day for you to save. You get paid for 8 hours, you should be able to save one of those 8 hours. Put that in your savings. You make $10 an hour, then you should be saving $10 a day. Put that at $10 a day. So you didn't pay. You
That's
save
actually
50
a very
a week.
good way to do it.
And she said after a time, especially if you're young, she's like, if they like 20, 25, imagine you make it 10 an hour, right? You save a 50 a week. That is what, 200 a month, 200 by, look, you saving, was it 25? Listen, I'm not a mathematician. I told you I'm a tech person, not a math person. Okay, I will keep it real with you on that. But if you save that, and even if you made $10 an hour, inflation is gonna happen, right? And like you're also gonna have cost of living adjustments. Someday you will make more money. You've already created that habit. And by the time, let's say you start that at 20, by the time you're 30, you're gonna have a bunch of money in there.
Yeah,
That's just 1 hour a day. You deserve to save 1 hour a day for yourself. You work hard for it. Say that 1 hour a day for you. So I thought that was super cool. So I'm gonna read the whole book, y'all. I'll get back to y'all, give y'all a synopsis when I get done reading the whole book. But I was like, oh, okay, okay, sis. So
you pull it into a good get the bag angle from a Cassius perspective. So these are things that I will put out there as opportunities. So content, that's something that we're doing. We're building a base from the bottom. We're doing everything from an organic perspective, and we're going to keep being us.
Organic.
Okay.
All organic.
Whole food
content. Advisory is another thing that is valuable as you get older. Wisdom is precious, and a lot of people do not have it. And from there, you have insurance. What do I mean by that? Retirement planning. That's a form of insurance for yourself.
And it started today. I don't care if you 20.
Yep.
Save that money. They got
start today.
Hey, baby, put some money in. They gonna match it. If they match it, you leave money on the table.
And we're talking about boomers. What's another thing that people should look at getting into? Elder services. Because more people are, we'll say there are less couples out there, right? And people
dog
are
services.
Probably trauma bonding because dog and cat service. And also there's going to be a greater need for financial education, right? All of these things become more valuable when millions of households feel retirement insecurity. So this is a call to us to go ahead and start looking at the pivot. See things for what they are. You see the casino of a stock market right now for some of us, and a lot of people are in FOMO mode right now. So that when people are running towards something, you always look at the door and the exit, right?
Yep. Check out that SpaceX video we got.
Right.
Oh yeah, I talk to folks every day. I got folks calling me asking me pricing for 2 years from now. I'm like, man, it doesn't work that way. So that's
trying to stack it up.
Yeah, they trying to figure it out.
My price.
Yeah. What? Okay, just give me an idea. No, that would be illegal. That means that I actually know what it's going to look like in 2 years, and I have no idea, man. But that also speaks to the intelligence. Like a lot of people just don't understand how a lot of things work. They're going to need navigation. So I'm noticing that financial planning thing, whoever takes on that, like really, really grips that situation and build a team around that helping folks, they're gonna make a killing, because there's so many people out here that have no idea what the next step is, no idea how stuff works. It's all assumption and what somebody else told them. That's how people moving right now. It's scary. So yeah, Cassius Pay spoke on a lot of really, really good stuff there, because it's a market that's I'm not gonna say it's being ignored, but it's not explored as much as it should be right now.
Yeah, I mean, people gonna start looking at, like I said, elder services, vacations, cats, wine. Like these are the things that are being built right now from the horizon perspective. Right now, we're in the age of the boomers, and that will wax and wane. So right now, elder services will be something that people should be looking into. Where I'm driving around, I'm seeing a whole bunch of elder homes, like elder people facilities, right? Where it's like assisted living facilities, things like that have to be built in order to house people who can't, like they can go around with, for themselves, but they can't necessarily take care of everything for themselves, need help getting dressed. And then they're going to go to, what is that, pickleball, some shit that people be doing when they start getting older or whatever.
Who don't play pickleball then?
So I'm still playing tennis.
It's big right now. Pickleball is big right now. You over here playing games. Pickleball is big out here.
Pickleball is for people who can't play tennis. So whatever. I'm
All right,
competitive
y'all.
like that. Let's move on.
Honestly, okay, so yeah, listen. Honestly, 2032 is a long way off, but and so because of that, I'm currently more worried about the price of gas like next week, which is bringing us to our major global traffic jam. Oh yeah, none other than the Iran deal. Yeah. So let's go ahead and watch this video, and then I got to follow up because time is moving quickly, y'all. So things are moving quickly. Every time we try to talk about this, something else new come up. So
Wisconsin's 2 U.S. senators are taking very different positions on that new agreement between the United States and Iran. President Trump is calling the agreement a step toward peace, but Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin says she's not convinced it addresses the biggest concerns surrounding Iran.
The truth is, President Trump has not reached a deal with Iran. There's no agreement to end their nuclear program. We have no assurances that war won't continue, and no evidence that Americans are any better off today.
Republican Senator Ron Johnson offered a different view in a post on X. Quote, the Ayatollahs declared war on the West 47 years ago. They are fanatics who have been engaging in and preparing for war all that time. Johnson went on to say President Trump recognized Americans would not support a ground war in Iran and, quote, made a deal to open the Strait of Hormuz to limit economic damage and carefully monitor the regime's behavior moving forward.
So that was the deal. That was as of yesterday. So I'm going to give y'all an article, and then we can talk a little more while I share this article. In the meantime, Israel.
From the Guardian?
Yeah.
Okay.
So JD Vance pulls out of a meeting in Switzerland on the implementation of the peace deal. Like every time that they have some kind of talk, it's always some other foolery going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this one. Look at that.
Now, is this after?
Yeah, shortly after the announcement.
Right after that.
Oh, you get your last sucker punch in? Like, I didn't see.
Right. Right.
That's the epitome of Juneteenth, right? What? We free?
Right.
Why ain't nobody tell?
Damn.
IDF soldiers must stand between Hezbollah and Israeli civilians.
They said we don't
We
care
will
about that.
not
We
wait
still
for the
still
next
pulling
attack
up
to reach our homes.
Lebanon.
We will continue to remove immediate threats, respond to Hezbollah's violations, and do whatever is necessary to protect our civilians.
They said we pulling up. We don't care about none of that. We don't care what you talking about. We don't care about none of that. We don't care about none of that. What's up?
Talking peace this, peace that. I had to go grab my piece. Like, that's not the piece we were discussing, sir. You're like, we don't care. Bombs over Baghdad.
It's
pissing me off because I'm like, what's the point? What's the point of even talking if you're just gonna keep coming around me and doing what you want to do? What's the point? I'm gonna sucker punch you in a minute if you keep this up. That's what's not being said.
I just can't imagine somebody gonna keep going around trying to have a deal with somebody, and every time, like literally every time he go in the room with them, come out cool. He did what?
Well, they got I mean, at this point, it's making things look weak. It's making the government look like where we was all making fun of Kamala for, where she was talking about some. What would you say? You know, she was like, don't.
Okay, Bryson Tiller, that's not gonna work. We need a real damn plan. And I mean, that's the issue. And it's just like, I mean,
don't come.
It's a lot I could say, but I want to keep our channel open. So I'm just trying to keep this as.
Well, the thing is that there has to be some level of in this point, yes, they are correct. It is not a peace treaty, right? This is an understanding that over the next 60 days there'll be heavy negotiations over a few things, but they did have a few pillars that were marked, meaning that the Strait of Hormuz would have been open. And I like my stats, so I picked out a stat that matters. And the stat that I picked out was about 20.3 million. And what is that? That's barrels of oil that move through the strait daily. And that's roughly 25% of the world maritime oil trade. So for us to think that we wouldn't be impacted is ridiculous. So it's also not a secret that we've been using oil reserves to kind of float ourselves for strategic reasons, and probably I would say political, so that people wouldn't be so pissed off about gas, even though people still pissed off about this gas.
They're gonna be pissed. They're gonna be pissed if it go up $1 because of who's in charge. That's just the name of the game. But bottom line is, we have a lot of oil, but we damn sure ain't got enough to keep going the way we going.
There you go. That's the main
homeboy keep jogging around us like y'all was talking. Not no more. I don't want to talk. Like, come on, dog. That's why I'm like, what's the point? What's the point?
They said that the barrel's supposed to go down from $100 to $80. So we're supposed to see gas prices go down dramatically very soon. Like in the next week or so, it should go down a ton. Like, so that
come on now. Like that's gas that's already been accounted for and refined. We can't talk about future gas. To me, that's what's stupid, because we were paying higher for gas at the time when it was still in the pipeline. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like paying Shell prices at Costco for gas. No.
Like we ordered fries, and by the time they finished cooking them, they was $7 more than what we originally paid. That was the same damn fries. What are you talking about?
Dynamic pricing at its peak.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the oil that the fries come in, they went up in cost, so we gotta offset that. I don't want to hear that ish. I don't want to hear that. But bottom line is the negotiations is not with Iran. The negotiations need to happen with Israel. Look, let me talk to you about how we need to move before I go over here and talk to them, because I need you to chill before we get over here to try to get this in order. I don't need you to say, okay, I hear you, and then do something different. We're gonna have a problem. That's what should be saying, but it seems like
but there's doing that. Speaking of the problems that we're talking about, the problem that people are missing over here is like the headlines about gas and all of that kind of shit, and that's not even what the main thing is here. What are people missing? This is not just about the oil trade. This is about the foreign policy story. And what is that story? The story is around cost of living and a margin compression story that is hitting the households. So that's really what's happening. It's pressure, right? As they say, right? Pressure on the households. And what does that also include? It includes trucking. It includes airlines. It includes shipping. And most of all of that stuff impacts small businesses, because they can't absorb those types of prices or those types of increases like that are as volatile and violent in some of these cases. Like you can't turn around and gas go up $1 a gallon and you got 100-gallon tank. That's a lot of money.
You're gonna feel that every trip.
Right.
But this my other issue. We can't keep talking about, we want Iran to get rid of their nuclear weapon building situation. We got to keep them under control. We got to make sure they cool. But then we got this other country that we're working with that just keep bombing just cause. Like, we're not moving in sync at all. And as far as world policies and the whole point of us all supposedly being able to work together, it doesn't look like Iran is a problem, but they're not looking like the only problem right now. No one wants to talk about the badass kid in the room that keeps knocking stuff off the table. That's the way it's starting to look.
And last thing I'll say for this is I'm always trying to bring it back. And I always have themes when I'm talking in this. And so if people haven't noticed, my theme this week is self-empowerment. So that's why I keep going for these angles. So what can you do in this case? Because people are being impacted. Hedge your own exposure by lowering fuel sensitive spending. So this is where people start looking at where they go. Fuel economy. Shoot, I even check my tire pressure now at this point. I got a truck, so I have to make sure that the tire pressure is good, because things like that impact the fuel economy of vehicles.
Yeah.
Reviewing, your logistics dependence on stuff. So many people got to bow out of being an Uber Eats driver, or was that DoorDash driving, because the shit's not adding up anymore, right? So people now are going and looking at their dependence in that way. In transportation, you got food, and then you also got utilities that are going up. All of that again equals pressure.
And check your water and sewer costs too, because these data centers that's been being put up, draining. I mean,
Elon talked about that. It feels weird to say. Elon said that in the comments earlier today.
Yeah, but that's the thing, and I've been noticing it, and that's been a big conversation about these data centers and how, all of a sudden, sneakily, you're noticing that the water cost is changing. And then when you complain about it, all of a sudden you get a credit. I'm like, come on, y'all. Just stop overcharging me, because y'all trying to keep these data centers running and you're throwing them up everywhere. And they're drained on resources. But you're not about to charge me because you guys want your AI. You're not about to just overcharge me on the sneaky side. Let me know what this cost up front. Oh, you might have a leak. I don't got no damn leak. You said that 2 months ago. Oh, I did? Yeah, you said that already. Oh, okay. Let me credit your account $150. Why do y'all keep crediting my account? It's things like that you start paying attention to. Stuff that you didn't really care about before, it's on your radar now. That little extra $20 you paying on that oil change, you're like, I'm gonna go down the street to the new guys.
Right.
Yes. All of that stuff makes sense now. All of it.
But in this case, volatility, it always awards the operators who move early in spaces like energy, shipping, even local supply substitutions is what's going to end up happening. Somebody's going to find a niche, and they're going to probably find a bag when there's a need, because of these types of situations where people might not want to go across town. I remember back in the day, it used to be jitneys, right? So things like that. Again, we're coming back into the smaller mom and pop markets that'll have to come out of necessity, because larger corporations and spaces will end up price gouging, because they always do. And I love capitalism, but the bad part about capitalism is the monopolization that happens, because it's not a true market in many cases, because people are buying other companies instead of competing outright, and then the customer wins through the better innovations that happen, through the better pricing that happens, as people need to be more aggressive and efficient in how they provide a service or a product, right? That's where we had Blackberries turning out iPhones, and now it's just, hey, motherfucker, iPhone 39, right? We changed the camera up a little bit. You like it because you love it. That's why you want some more of it, right? Okay.
You got 5 cameras now instead of 4. All this.
That's crazy. I saw the other day somebody had 5 cameras. I said, bro, what are you doing on the side? Like,
I'm trying to do a 3D movie from my iPhone.
I take pictures of my dog. Okay, it's your money. You go to work. You putting in on Social Security. I ain't even mad at it. It's cool. Keep going to work, my G. Just keep going to work.
You can afford a 5-camera phone your ass can afford to put that $50 a week, $100 a week to the side because you just wasting money on dumb ish.
Yeah, yeah. But listen, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and transition into something else. So look, I understand that navigating international waters is notoriously difficult. Like what we talk about is not easy, but honestly, it might still be easier than trying to navigate the American public school system because, baby, we talked about this a little bit, a little sprinkle, a little drippity drip drop on special education. But now, even more is going on in special ed. Even more is going on in special ed, y'all. So, President Trump signs an executive order to shift special ed and civil rights from the Education Department to Health and Human Services. Let's hear more about it.
Today, President Trump signed an executive order that makes some big changes to the Education Department. Programs for special education and rehabilitative services will now fall under the Health and Human Services Department, and the Office of Civil Rights, which enforces anti-discrimination laws in schools, will move to the Justice Department. Advocates say the move would leave students and families without much needed services. The president argues it will improve efficiency without service changes.
Without service change is a damn lie. That's already what happens when you move things to another department, right? What happens during a reorg, right? Like in business, when a reorg happens. Oh shit, Ms. McMahon.
Linda. We gonna hear what Linda got to say. Linda.
And don't forget to read this summer. That advice today from a 77-year-old grandmother. And by the way, that grandmother, Linda McMahon, is President Trump's Secretary of Education. Regina Mobley spoke to the cabinet member who's charged with dismantling the Department of Education. Knew it fine. Regina?
Well, Aisha, Linda McMahon, the billionaire former wrestling tycoon, has one assignment from the president. The Education Department shut it down. Tonight, how her latest proposal could affect children with special needs. Inside the Beltway, Senator Tim Kaine and others are sounding the alarm about a plan to shift special education functions to Health and Human Services and civil rights functions to the Department of Justice.
But he treated the Department of Education like it was a going out of business sale of a discount furniture outlet.
Education Secretary Linda McMahon sat for a Zoom interview.
What types of checks and balances will you have in place to monitor how these two agencies, Justice Department and Health and Human Services?
Well, I really don't believe you're going to see any difference at all.
Dr. Cardell.
She just said, you ain't gonna see nothing at all. If we don't see a difference, that's concerning because that means the Education Department wasn't doing it.
I mean, it wasn't doing shit. That's what that means.
At all. So that's what that's gonna mean. So we finna find out.
Patillo, chair of the Portsmouth School Board, provided a question for the interview. Next, a portion of the question and a portion of the answer.
And he writes, with a stretched Justice Department, how will they guarantee will they increase the staffing level of licensee educators and the department to bring ease to citizens?
Our Office of Civil Rights, they're going to continue to receive the complaints and have oversight into the actual control that will be shared with the Department of Justice.
Dr. Patillo wants details.
Again, I haven't seen the framework, but again, the main concern would be not the litigation standpoint of special education, but the provision of resources and support and the oversight of that.
Visibility.
Now, the Education Secretary even weighed in on the alleged racist remarks made by the Williamsburg, James City County Superintendent of Schools. He reportedly said, "Wouldn't you rather go to school with kids who look like you?" Secretary McMahon said, quote, "So there is going to be no toleration of any kind of comments like that, and we're going to make sure that everyone has equal opportunity education, and that's the presidential goal and certainly is mine." End of.
Separate but equal.
That's what he said. He said, wasn't it a good time back when they did their own what was that dance thing they used to do back in the day? American Bandstand. Back
I do the
before it
hop.
was separate.
I do I do the hop. Yeah.
They say, yeah, wasn't it a good time when they took their hot cone over there and we ain't had to deal with all that over here, all that twerking from our white girls. They just
Jim Jones, get that damn hot comb out of here. All right. We only do feet picks.
So
I do the hop. Yeah.
So the Department of Education used to handle all of education. They sent that to health and sciences, which means that now we're talking about special education being a science.
Health and human services.
Yeah, but like that now puts that from an educational category and philosophical in ways to literal science. So now you're saying that kids who are in this category are science.
I don't know if RFK is.
But they're pushing them into science. So when you talk about science, don't that mean you have to run experiments to get your data? Now you can't use
you about to go for fucking what's that? X-Files around here.
It's not X-Files because the thing is psychology is a science. So psychology is how kids with special needs are diagnosed, stuff like that. So I see where they're going with that. It's a behavioral science and mental health and all that is considered a science. However, like there's not a lot of them that work in like school systems these days. Like even I'm trying to think about even growing up. Did we have a school psychologist? I think like our school psychologist like traveled. Like so I'm just trying to understand like that. Like that guy, like the principal, the doctor said, he was like, listen, if this is gonna help the kids, I'm all for it. But what's the framework? And how are they gonna support these kids? Because we already know that these kids can't just sit in a regular classroom. So if you're gonna take the science route, what are we gonna do to make sure we have funding and support for those kids? That's basically what he's saying.
Well,
she didn't sound knowledgeable to me. Linda McMahon was just kind of like, sprinkle, ho, you gonna figure it out.
Yeah, because the thing is, I'm gonna tell you, and this is just the truth, and this just comes from my background of working in education for so long. They have survived off of parental lack of knowledge of what their resources are. Because if you don't know about it, you don't tap into it, which means that they keep it plentiful, which means that they don't have to service as many people that's needed. Now, what happens in this change, as she said, well, not much is going to change. I don't know what that means exactly. Because bottom line is what needs to change is the transparency of services, because that's the one thing it's like a big club that nobody knows about until you start fishing and being one of those parent advocates that ask a lot of questions. Luckily for me, because I work, in education, but I also had special needs kids, I actually was afforded that information from people who actually, knew what was going on. The first thing they said, hey man, you have any problems? Your son having problems with incontinence? You call them, man. They'll give you good nights for free. They'll send you, there's a budget for that. Your kid is a bag of money, and this is how much they make off your child. This is how much of the school benefits from having your special needs child. You get what I'm saying? So there's a lot of money allotted for these babies, but a lot of that money stays where it is if you don't know about it. So I'm hoping that this so-called move brings out more transparency.
Or just builds the bag in one spot, to be honest.
Right. Because and then actually really being seen, because we to this day, none of us truly knows where all that money goes. I mean, Special Olympics got shut down due to not having any
crazy.
That's crazy. Well, all the I volunteered for Special Olympics.
I have volunteered for Special
lot.
Olympics.
I sold pizzas
for multiple years.
The fund transportation. We did pizzas. We did clothing drives. We did all kinds of stuff. But you telling me that, but the school districts countrywide get a ton of money for these babies that come in there to have to be serviced, but they don't get Special Olympics. They got to shut it down. Meanwhile, sports is still happening. Basketball is still happening.
Basketball still happening.
Track and field still happening. No lack
Now
of
they got
money
a,
there.
now they got a pickleball team.
Oh my goodness.
Chess team still popping.
They got dudes volleyball teams now.
Wow. Gross.
Competitive.
Okay.
Gross is crazy.
So with
What-
this move, I just hope
Look at
the
that boy with the Daisy Dukes on.
They ain't wearing that. Stop playing with them. They ain't doing that. They ain't wearing
That's
that.
just my take, y'all. Hopefully this move brings more transparency, because what dude didn't say was, yeah, because the old framework showed this, and this. The only thing he look like he know about is the menu. I don't think he know anything about how it functions as a whole. I'm just being a honey. I'm gonna leave it at that.
My only concern on this is when you push it to science, before kids could get IEPs and stuff through the school evaluating them, when you move it to science, that means that they're going to need diagnosis every time. So if that kid is not diagnosed with something, then they're not going to give funding. Y'all mark my words.
They're just gonna kick their ass out of school.
Yeah, like that's like, so
All
like you
kids
got
left
kids
behind.
that you got kids that just like, they, you know, I don't know about all that, and they're trying to figure it out. But if you ain't got no diagnosis, they ain't gonna help you. That's what that means to me. Because like when you go to science, I need data, baby. I need pure data for that. Period.
What's gonna happen is that it's gonna fall back on these parents who are dropping because a lot of the kids, you know, they have special needs, but they're not full on like Downs. You know, they're not autistic. A lot of them just have like anger issues, and you know, mama might have drank too much coffee during the pregnancy or something. They jittery now. Things like that, to where they can medication possibly could help, or just some extra monitoring.
Or maybe not. Like maybe just therapies, right?
That's what I'm
But
saying.
if it's in science, they ain't gonna want that. You gonna have to give me a diagnosis. Y'all, you know, maybe I'm wrong. But
oh no, that's gonna
listen. Here comes Joe. Here comes Joe. Shout out to Joe, one of the ODP originals.
You late, brother. You late. Where's your all pass? No, but the thing is, no, they're gonna have a diagnosis. It's either gonna be they're Downs, they're autistic, or you know, they're ED.
Oh, they're gonna start concentrating the diagnosis.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I mean. If you put it in science, you're gonna have to.
Yeah,
you go
types of autistic. This,
and
this,
pros,
and this.
And there's pros
or
and
nothing.
cons to that too. There's pros and cons to it. The pros is that these kids are definitely gonna have to get help because it's on paper that they need this assistance, right? The con is that everybody, they're already doing it now, but they're gonna try to race to get their kids diagnosed because they all want to get checks, and the transparency is going to be there of what can be done as a result of this diagnosis and that diagnosis. Watch how fast people are running down there to apply to make sure they get good nights, and now this parent is selling the good nights and the wipes and all of that kind of stuff. They're gonna make a whole thing out of it. Watch and see.
Well, they trying to get her impeached, so that's the next thing. Is they said, "Oh, okay."
Before you hit that, I want to talk a little bit about the part that Plain Dame really was hitting on that really stuck out to me was like the bureaucratic restructuring and what it actually creates. It creates winners, and the winners are the ones that navigate and advocate, consult the therapists and the people that are providing the services. And so they understand the rules faster than the institutions do. So that's some of the angles that he was talking about. Because again, I'm trying to bring that theme of self-empowerment. So that's parents and educators. And what should you do as a parent or an educator in this case? Because the shit is waxing and waning, it's flooding and droughting. You need to document everything. You need to track the eligibility and how it moves, shifts, and changes. And watch the deadlines for these things very, very closely. You need to build direct relationships with service providers instead of relying on like the system pathway. I'll just say at a high level. So
no, that's real.
Yeah.
Because we have our point person right now. I mean, my son just graduated, but that don't mean anything. We're still going to have those same advocates in place. We're going to be still talking to the same people I talked to 5-6 years ago, because You have to do that. You have to build, because these people are actually on the ground level of seeing things as they change in real time. We don't work in that office. We're not going to see it to probably a year from now in certain instances, depending on what the situation is, where it's funding, whether it's a lack of resources, whether there's going to be more resources. Like, we won't know any of that until somebody maybe make an announcement, or might be a slip of the tongue, like, oh, they got it. I probably not shouldn't tell you this. They got it. That sort of stuff.
Because it moves from where you're talking about that high level ideology piece, right? And we start going into case management, advocacy support, benefits coordination, and then a specialized education services. And all of these things, when it's in flux like this, as stuff gets messy, these types of services gain in value because people get kicked out and they don't know why and all of that. And they're not equipped with the skills to know how to reconnect, we'll say. It's kind of like when your call drops.
And not to mention, you got all these new kids that's graduating from college right now that's going into that field. That, swear to God, they know everything. You got to educate their ass too, because a lot of times you get that new person and like, from what I'm understanding, you're not supposed to. Oh no, yes you do, because according to Article 3 on page 15 in this book that your ass didn't read, states that he gets that. Go read it. You have to be that type of parent or that advocate. So, a little passionate about this one, but we ain't gonna stay here for too long.
I saw some ass over there on the side. I'm gonna just go ahead and keep that up. You about to get us kicked off.
So I'm just gonna the clip notes.
I was diagnosed with being a creep.
They're trying to impeach Linda McMahon, so we don't have time to go into that video, but we'll go ahead and get into a little bit of Rand Paul is like, listen, there's some biolab stuff that we need to talk about that's been exposed that even the Biden administration kind of knew about, and so the people need to know. So I'm gonna play a little bit of this video.
Just
a little bit of it.
Potential for catastrophic global impact that research on dangerous pathogens in biolabs can have. Politicians and so-called health professionals like Dr. Fauci, as well as entities within the Biden administration's national security team, lied repeatedly to the American people about the existence of US-funded and supported biolabs. Not only did they lie, they threatened those who attempted to expose the truth.
For years, anyone who questioned U.S.-funded biological research overseas that could be considered gain of function was often dismissed as a conspiracy theorist. Well, now Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, as you heard, has declassified documents she says show the U.S. supported or funded more than 120 biological labs across more than 30 countries, including facilities in Ukraine working with some of the world's most dangerous pathogens. Now, the debate's not whether these programs existed, but what former federal officials said during and after the COVID pandemic as lawmakers demand accountability. And at the forefront of this debate, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul. Good morning to you, Senator. Great to see you this morning.
If your knives. So Rand Paul is basically saying, like, listen, we need to go ahead and educate people, and this is wrong. But just wanted to bring a little bit of the forefront on the biolabs for y'all.
I can help.
Good morning.
So for years, Senator, you clashed with Dr. Anthony Fauci. You clashed with other public health officials over gain-of-function research and the origins of COVID, which, as we know, COVID fundamentally changed the risk calculation around this type of research, where scientists would juice up viruses to make them more dangerous and perhaps develop a vaccine or treatment. So what was the most significant new fact revealed in these declassified documents, and why does it matter?
It's not surprising to me, but that the government lied. So when this was brought out a couple of years ago that these labs existed in Ukraine and there was particular danger there because they were in the middle of a war, they all said, oh, you're crazy. It's conspiracy theory. This doesn't really exist. And then it turns out with the new revelations that, yes, of course they were. And some of the research we believe is farmed out to third world countries and other countries because they know it's dangerous and they know we would object if we discovered it on our soil. So they're actually taking it to foreign countries to do dangerous research because they think there'll be less objection. Sometimes the foreign countries will take it simply because we pay for it and the money. But why would we be doing this? Why would we be funding these labs all over the world It's a terrible thing, and I'm glad that Tulsi Gabbard has declassified this, and we're not done with this. We're going to go lab by lab, and we're going to expose the individual pathogens that they're using and the danger.
Drop some drip in the comments. Y'all thought the Rona was over. Y'all thought the residual of Rona was over. It's interesting, because what was that? The Hanta virus? Wasn't that the one that was on the cruise?
Yeah.
Where'd that magically come from? And they didn't start from America, if I'm not mistaken. They were on another country, correct?
I'm just trying to figure out why Africans keep, getting Ebola and shit like half the time. You get what I'm saying? Like it just makes it really, really peculiar. But the law of nature, as described, is that you are supposed to be given said information in order to prove its existence, right? Let's go into some philosophical spaces. We've seen these things in video games and in movies.
Resident Evil is one,
right?
but okay.
Oh, yes.
Mitochondria Eve back in the day.
Parasite Eve?
Yeah.
That was the game.
Wasn't it though?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Hey, listen, all the rest of we all on all got our Ted Kuvi hats because we've been prepared since we've been in the second grade.
I was like, yeah.
I know that dog ain't right. That dog got rabies coming now. I know that.
Me.
That dog come out looking like that? Nah, it's over, B.
You got 2 heads.
3 heads.
But what this does go into is operational trust. So biolab controversies affect public confidence. And what does public confidence affect? Markets, political spaces, oversight, costs. When I talk about market value of institutions, and it's tied to what? Money for research, quote unquote, health security, and most importantly, from a private angle, contracting. Okay. Dark money. So what would people be missing in these spaces, right? So the scandal narrative often hides in a simpler question with what? Who had weak controls? Who signed off? More importantly, who profits from the cleanup, investigation, and then all of a sudden we need a replacement system. Like who cared about airport security before something else happened before that? So it's an erosion of public confidence and where people see a need for a savior and a governmental one at that. Protect your neck.
Which bring forth record profits for the new team that's going to be set in place that has to take care of whatever the hell the Colagero virus hits when it lands in Connecticut and makes its way west.
The Cueto virus.
Yeah, Cueto. The Cueto's on his way. With this one, you got to put panties around your neck and you got to talk in clicks and whistles for 2 weeks and it'll go away.
Or what's that called? The quiet place? Remember that one? Where you make a noise. Chick had that baby in that tub. Boy, it was crazy. By herself. Man. Be quiet, man. Woo.
Well, I don't watch many of those types of movies, so I have no idea what y'all talking about. But I'm sure
man, listen, it's hits.
Need to watch.
Yeah, man.
You need to watch it from a philosophical.
Well, I'm talking about watching a bag in this case. And what's the bag angle for what we was talking about?
No,
let me get up on my last.
Some stocks are going up that might align with that. Do with that as you will. I ain't naming that name. Listen, I'm invested in one right now that's already waiting on that. But I ain't know it was going like this. I just knew something was going to shake. I have got a little sprinkle. What's up?
Oh, you must be talking about the one that starts with the E. Okay.
I sure did. I'm a whole.
Buy a whole. Okay. Well, you got a smart angle there. But yeah, but from the bag
Totally.
perspective, for people who are listening to us, what are the places where there are opportunities? Again, we're gonna talk about compliance and auditing, risk managing, where my man is at right here, plain Dane. What's gonna be another thing that emerges? Biosafety training. That's something that people can get quote unquote certified to do and then have to show people how to wash their hands and shit like that. How to wash your hands the correct way. These are things that are actual services that might be grant driven or anything else.
Or the
third party
favorite
verifications.
Mandated. That way you gotta
Yes.
get it. That way you gotta cut the check. We hate mandates, but if it's mandated to give me a greater payout, mandate away. That's what
Because
that's where
they turn into premium services when you have failures in systems. So you're right.
Yeah.
You're
That's
definitely
what
right.
ends up happening. They can't wait to put a mandate in and guarantee a bag. That's all it does. Like they had us out here with masks on, y'all, and told us
Right.
and put stickers on the floor that says 6 inches, and you had to stand there 6 inches from somebody else that was going to a damn vending machine. What? And somebody got paid to do that.
Yeah, like people not breathing the same damn air anyway. Like
Right. You in your car with a mask on. The radio station said we can't even play. Don't play the radio unless you got your mask on. Anything. Like it's man.
all right, let's move on before we start getting pissed off about how we lived for like that's some unreal shit right now. Now that I go back and think about it.
Now you know what's unreal. So what's unreal is JD Vance went and took his behind on The View.
Hey,
that was unreal. Bro, why?
Right, he went into the abyss.
Right.
He will not come back unscathed.
The pissed abyss.
So the clip that we have of The View, you can go watch the whole thing. There's a lot of gems in there, but this one, he said Black history is not erased from public spaces. So let's hear more about it.
From a poor community. Sure. You know how hard it has been for people.
She said that you grew up from a poor community. When he got in there, he told them, just to set the scene for y'all when you start talking about issues. He says from a small town in Ohio that was a steel mill town, that when the jobs left and a lot of people became poor, and his grandfather was somebody who worked in those and he was directly affected. So that's where she's going with that as far as connecting.
You talking about Ashtabula?
No, it's called like Middleton. I think he said
Oh, Middleton. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Black and mild country.
Two things. You talk a lot about your Catholic faith, but the Catholic faith says we take in immigrants. We take in people who don't have or who are having a hard time. How do you justify both things?
So let me say first a couple things, Whoopi. So number one, the book is actually way less political than you might think if you were just watching this, because obviously we're getting into the issues of the day.
Right.
95% of the book is really not about politics. I kind of have to write about politics because I'm the vice president, but I want to answer your question.
Right.
So fundamentally, if you think about what is immigration enforcement, immigration is law enforcement. It's somebody who has broken a law. A law enforcement officer has to show up and enforce that law.
Mm-hmm.
Now, inherently, sometimes that process is not always going to be pretty if you capture a video clip of it, in the same way that if you arrest somebody for committing a violent or a nonviolent crime, sometimes it's not always pretty. What I'm saying is the Catholic faith is actually I think it strikes the right balance here. It says the Christian faith, I think this is true of Protestants and Catholics, that you can have borders.
Yeah.
You're allowed to enforce your borders. That means the law enforcement piece of it. But you also have to take certain precautions and certain care, okay? And again, your argument is fundamentally, Whoopi, you're saying that we don't strike the right balance. I disagree with you about how we apply that, but nobody hopefully is saying we're not allowed to have a border.
No,
what
sure.
I'm saying is that in order for us to actually enforce the law, you can't set a standard that says you're not allowed to deport anyone unless they've committed a violent crime. You've got to enforce the law equally
So
and justly.
let me do my follow-up.
You don't have to raise your hand,
Let me do my
Joey.
follow-up.
I know where this about to go. Drop some drip in the comments. Drop some drip in the comments. We want to know what y'all think. This is about to get funky. Okay. Drop some drip in the comments. Let us know. He clarified where he stands with some of these things, and so we'll see if they let him talk. I've already watched this, so I know what happens. But drop some drip. Let us know. Y'all think they're gonna let him talk? Y'all think that it's gonna be something else? And describe what that something else is. Guys, you got anything before I hit that play button?
Just hit play.
Okay.
Like I'm not a fan of either side in this case, but I just the venue is already what's throwing me off. Number one, like the view in politics is just.
It's never been. It's been.
Yeah. It's just not a centered enough space for my taste. That's all I'm gonna say. But let's keep it moving. Let's get grooving on this.
All right, I'm gonna let the rest of this play out. I'm gonna go get me something to drink, y'all.
I do. Because you were talking about people. What did Black people do to this administration that has allowed it to really stigmatize folks of color? And you know how hard it is. You have folks of color in your family.
Sure.
So when you see, things, the Emmett Till stuff coming down, or them doing all kinds of removal of information of Black heroes, how does that sit with you?
Well, what exactly are you talking about, Whoopi? Because you just I know Emmett Till was the kid. No, I want to know what she's.
You don't know what I'm talking
to your
about.
actual point.
So in a lot of the museums, there's so many. Where they're taking down the actual history that happened in this country. Slavery happened. All kinds of stuff happened, and it seems that it has been very easy for this administration to remove that, and also to denigrate Black folks who have worked their behinds off to get this American dream. How do you? I mean, you know better.
So Sonny, that was actually a very helpful intervention, because I think the story you're talking about is where, allegedly the administration is holding back the appointments of people based on skin color. I've seen the story.
He said
Hold
alleged.
on. So hold on. Before we get let Sonny hosting get on the scene. What y'all think about what Whoopi said? What's context that's been taken?
I see where she was trying to go, but she couldn't land it in a way that kept it coherent enough where he wouldn't be able to flip like he just did doing the. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? Emmett Till was a kid from the. From the early hundreds. What do you mean?
Here's my thing. She couldn't shut the hell up long enough to let him talk himself into the shit. She couldn't just. That's my feedback. She cut him off so early in what he was saying that he was actually clarifying the part of what he was going to speak on. So you really can't even challenge, does he not know who Emmett Till is? Or did he not know what you meant about Emmett Till? Because you cut it. My feedback is this. She cut him off so soon. She didn't even let him walk into no kind of corner. She stopped it too early. Wow. Yeah, she stopped it too early. And then she got flustered because he said that. And she was just almost enraged. How dare you not know him? Girl.
Because people don't speak in pictures. Some people, they have visualization when they speak. And so sometimes it doesn't come clearly across to others because you have pictures that you are speaking. Some people think in pictures.
That man was on a debate team for a top tier school.
I'm not saying it wasn't
not
him.
For him. I'm talking about her. For her, he's going to clarify because of he's a trained speaker.
Orator, yeah.
He's trained, top tier. Y'all, we ain't gonna take that away from JD. JD has been trained by the best of the best to speak.
He is a
So for you to-
Toastmaster, if you will.
You over here cutting him off is crazy work. Let him say his thoughts and then come into there. And so I'll be quiet after this. What they've clipped, just so people have context, what they clipped is like, oh, well, he doesn't know who Emmett Till is. No. We don't know that because she talked too damn soon. My feedback is this. Take a second. When you feel emotional, y'all, my eyes quiet. When you feel emotional, and I've had to learn this just even being on a live stream. Take a second. I know, right? Y'all should have hit that day. Take a second, breathe, count to 3, and then replay what they said and think for a second. She ain't do none of that. She just, how dare you not know about my Black history? Girl, chill.
She never does. That's the problem.
So that's
She
my
pays
feedback on that, y'all.
millions
If
of
y'all
dollars.
talking, you try to make a point, let them walk into it. That's my feedback. I'm gonna be quiet. And then I'm gonna keep playing the rest of it.
I'm just saying, that whole table is paid millions of dollars to speak emotionally and anally without any type of real any tangible information that could be looked into or shown and proved. Like it's all emotion at that table. That's why I don't even understand why, like, I applaud JD Vance for going there, but it's like, why am I about to go to my baby mama house with my new girlfriend? That's just how I look at it. You already lost because logic has left the room before you even stepped in it. It's gonna be all emotion based. Like, I don't even know, y'all land the plane. Did it take off?
Yeah.
Did it even take off? Because all she said was, you know what I mean. You're married to a woman of color. Bitch, we rich. What are you talking about? Like,
Right.
I don't identify. You don't even identify with
I
what you're
identify
talking
as green now. Okay. That's where I'm at.
But deeper than that, you woke up in your gentrified neighborhood, your $1 million home. You don't even identify with the shit you talking about. So you can't land it because you don't even know how the plane fly. You don't even know what you're talking about. You just quick. Let's get the rest of it. Let me
Before you do that, let me throw this in and then I'll
As you know, Sunny hosted. She's just gonna make you mad. But okay, you sure?
Litigation.
She's gonna make you mad.
She the worst.
You sure you want to do it now, or you want to do it after her?
No, I'm gonna do mine now because it might derail my whole psyche. So what we're talking about here is the reason why he actually would have gone on here is this particular, the White House is no secret that they got to do damage control and they got to do a bunch of like attention economy stuff. And that's really where this is on a political side. So the conflict clips actually drive reach. So whether you love it or hate it, you still saw him. And that comes with monetization. And that means that people get mobilized to pay as well. So the outrage that we see, even we do clickbaity stuff sometimes, right? On the thumbnails and all of that. But the clips, the reposts, all of that gets to the tribal loyalty because people watch to love it and people watch to hate it at the same time. But what are we missing out of it? While audiences actually argue, the platforms and the personalities capture engagement value from the clash itself because people don't care whether you love it or hate it for real. They just want you to watch. We're in the attention economy right now. So from a self-empowerment side of this, don't just consume the clip. Extract the persuasion lesson, the audience signal, and the market incentive behind the exchange. Who's making money? Who's trying to make some money? And as a creator, what can we do from this? Yeah.
I was gonna say, who the hell pays the person to hit the applaud button? Like, what the fuck would they applauding at that point? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Dude, just hit the button, clap, y'all. Because
he was just like,
yeah. Everybody, what are we clapping about? Like, why? There was no point.
Why?
Made.
Why are we
There was
clapping
no
right
point.
now?
They just clap. Just hit the clap button. She on that first clap. Oh shit. We'll be having a Joe Biden moment. Hit the clap button because we don't know what the hell she was talking about. She don't even know what she was talking about.
I think she was. They clapped because she was trying to
Bail
She was
out.
basically
Is
saying,
what- you know what I mean? Yeah, bitch.
she was getting upset about the removals of the museums and stuff like that. So people were clapping to say that they didn't like the changes that were going on. So I understand why they were clapping. Like I said,
Right.
my thing for her is that she didn't let him walk into
And again, that
he
was
never
not
does.
a properly spent clip out of the magazine, if you will, right? It missed because it was spoken. She had all week to figure out what question she was going to ask.
There you go. That's my point right there. She had all week to prepare for this brilliant orator.
To get in that ass, yeah.
She had all
And
week.
fumbled
She
it.
could even examples. In fact, you got a phone sitting next to you. She could have been in her notes like, yeah. What about when they removed Emmett Till's picture in such and such museum at such and such time? Because stuff like that is what's going to drive people to be even more hyper local about some of the stuff that's happening that they don't like. I'm
Right.
just like,
And then it inspires
Some of
people
them
to
do.
actually come with receipts to, I mean, it's not even talking about debate, right? This is spirited, just dialogue. And now you're getting to the point where you're talking about actual actions, items, historical reference points. And
can't
you
say stuff
want
like
someone to come back with something. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't say stuff like that and then have nothing. No, he gave her the alley-oop, the slam dunking on his ass. What do you mean by that? Instant boom. This is what I mean. Boom, 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 boom. And she hit those points. And our
Right.
president care about that. Yada 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 yada.
And all
yada.
of those are federal things. And then you could say on the flip side, people added their names to shit that already had names. So it's a presidential building instead of just a singular presidential building. Why do we feel the need to right, clap? Why do
now
we
you
feel
can
the need
say
to remove things from one side and to add things from another side, seemingly under racial tension guidelines or boundaries? Why do we have this?
Boom. Now he like, oh shit, she came strapped. You know what I mean? So
Because now we're talking about, because he could have finagled to that's a state guideline. No, this is a federal thing. These are federal buildings. This is so now you have both angles to pursue. But let's go into litigator in chief and call it a day.
I'm talking about Black history getting erased from public spaces. Black voter districts are being dismantled. Black leaders are being sidelined from our ranks. Where do Americans of color fit in this vision? Because it doesn't seem like we fit.
I think,
In the
Sonny,
vision of
my
certain
view,
states.
let me.
And if I may, since October of last year, there's been something like 6,668 refugees allowed into the country. All but 3 were white South Africans.
So
now sis came with her facts on this one. So shout out to her for coming with the stats.
First of all, I'm very skeptical of that number because we have a lot of different immigration pathways in the United States of America. But let me just address Whoopi's point. Look, first of all, you asked the question, and maybe you don't believe this coming from me, but I think everybody is welcome in our political coalition. Frankly, even if you didn't vote for us, everybody is welcome in our country so long as you're an American citizen with the duties and the legal obligations and rights to be here. But let me
And you see how he addressed that with her coming with like her numbers. He's like, yeah, I'm going to challenge that. But like, she gave him something to like have a conversation at. So that's what like the we're talking about peers. Like she gave him something to kind of go from.
And y'all didn't even get what he said though. He said everybody's welcome as long as you're an American citizen. That's exactly.
He about to get into what that means in a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna let him cook. Here you go. I'm gonna let him tell you what it means.
Cooking.
Yeah, he about to tell you. He gonna
easy
clarify.
for him. That's what I didn't like. Yeah,
he's gonna clarify because she allowed him to clarify too. So he's gonna clarify.
just give you an example of this. Okay, so you say that we're anti-minority or anti-black.
No, I didn't say that. I asked. See?
Well, okay, fine. Fair.
Don't start any stuff
All
with
right,
me,
okay,
man.
all
Don't
right.
get me in trouble. Don't start no stuff with me. But
I misinterpreted your question,
That's
but
all right.
let me answer your actual question.
That's
here.
exactly
what
what
I'm
she
saying.
said,
I think, okay, look at Washington, D.C. One of the most democratic and one of the blackest, by share of population, blackest cities in the United States of America, has seen a radical decrease in violent crimes and sexual assaults and in murders. We have tried to take the crime issue seriously, in part because we believe everybody, whether you're black or white or rich or poor, deserves to live in a safe neighborhood.
why does the crime? Where does the crime step in? This is not about crime. This is
Black women
about
lost their jobs.
rights. This is about
But Sonny, what you're saying is
Black
we got to do
history's
more on the economy.
And Black history has been
Sonny,
erased from public
Black history
spaces.
is not
That
erased
is
from
true.
public
Guys,
spaces.
we do
That
have to
is
get to
not
Iran
right.
when we get back.
Yeah,
There's some very
guys,
important news to
I'm
get
telling you, we celebrate Black history. We celebrate all American history in this administration.
can I
You
ask you
guys
about a
might be
specific
skeptical
piece
of
of
this,
tech?
but I promise you it's true.
If you're buying an LED mask,
Okay, what? From his standpoint, he said, "I promise you, it's true," which is different than having a particular
later
receipt on why. Okay.
He
well,
also
it got it.
during it talked about that a requirement for immigration, because he does have a part. It was really long, so I only picked this part, but he did talk about a requirement of immigration is to be like have the proper information to be here. So he was like, if you're not supposed to be in a place, like we don't want to have people here who are not essentially approved to be here. That's pretty much where he was going with that. So he did clarify what he meant by that. But then as far as like the Black history part, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you here. You can't remove artifacts for people and then be like, but I value you though. People gonna have a problem with that. Because it's not like you moved it to a new place. Just took it off.
Okay,
So,
well,
that's
let me
I'm
hit
just
you
saying
with the
that's how that
devil's
translates
advocate.
to people.
Let me hit you with the devil's advocate side that people won't even find, some won't even find it palatable that I'm about to say it, but I'm going to say it for the sake of argument. Why should we remove Confederate, statue memorabilia? It's part of history.
you want me to honestly say why?
No, I'm putting this out here first.
Like, why? I'm
just
saying,
because
like,
it's
but-
for the sake of argument. Yeah, go ahead.
But
You
why?
can respond.
Because they lost the war is what most people will tell you. They lost the opportunity to, when their flag got taken over, that's when they lost the opportunity to continue their flag in that regard. Because essentially it's dead. Like that's the difference. That's unless you're saying like Black history is dead. That's if you're saying it's done. But the reason why people say erase the Confederate flag is because you lost a war in which you were saying you were going to take over a space, and you.
Well,
didn't.
I mean, but can it be framed as
you can't
a?
harbor that. You can't harbor that no more because that's
What
done.
I'm saying
That's done.
at that point is then it's framing. Can you frame these things as a cautionary tale to the reason why certain regimes have lost wars or what have you, and why certain generals lost? Like it's still a part of history, and it is bound to repeat itself. I'm not saying that we should revere said generals who've lost battles because they were in the Confederate space. All I was doing was just providing another place where people value history to a certain degree.
And they still got Confederate flags down in Mississippi. I've been there. I didn't see it myself. So like they still got them there. Let's believe
Whistling
it still
Dixie,
exists.
that's what it is.
So it still exists. So I mean, you know what I mean? It's not like it's gone.
So I mean, we can ask that to people in the comments. Is really what I'm saying. But people find that you should remove certain pieces of history. I mean, let us know why. Right.
But deeper than that, all of these crybaby millionaires who actually have the money to get into their circles and say, hey, we don't like that they removed this and this and this from this particular museum. Why not fund our own museum, take our artifacts back, and just make sure that this museum specifically speaks towards the history that we want told, that we want people educated in? No one wants to do that. They want to sit and cry about what somebody else done. it works the same way in your household. Like if you worried about somebody taking something out of a museum, wouldn't it be in your best interest to pretty much teach that history to your children, people of your neighborhood, to be the spokesperson for said history? If you want it told so much, if you want it to definitely be something that definitely stays in your lexicon.
Yeah, you people do that when they find it important anyway. I'm pretty sure that people are passing down things that other people don't find savory, right?
Right.
So
we know about grandpa drinking problem. We know about the drugs that little Uncle Barney used to sell. But you don't want to talk about Emmett Till because the museum is supposed to address that.
I mean,
That's
to
all
be
I'm
fair, people complain about some of the stuff. And how many of y'all actually learned Black history in school? Because personally, the Black history I learned was at home anyways. So in some ways, like people are complaining and be like, hey, we're not learning Black history in schools. I mean, I would like to know who drops the drip in the comments. Y'all school actually teach it? Because mine didn't. My parents taught us Black history.
Yeah, we actually had, well, I'm a little older. We had Black history. We had a whole Black history class.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah. But see, the thing is that I come from where a lot of that stuff was still important. Well, we did the plays. We did Kwanzaa was heavy. I'm from that lineage.
Plus, when you in a bigger city in the Midwest, a lot of that stuff was actually going on, and people lived in the neighborhoods where Dame grew up that were deep in the part of those things. It wasn't just South or a lot of
the Glenville Riots was the thing. The Panthers was here, Martin Luther King spoke at my school
at the church. What in the Olivet is a church that everybody knows in the Cleveland area that is known for big speakers. Presidents go there, so these are things that are in the community that you would already know about. But let's switch it over to the get the bag angle for those, because I'm always about getting that bag. This one goes out to creators, right? So I wanted to say this one. Creators who can translate viral political moments like this one that we see into clear business, branding, or media strategy commentary can outperform pure outrage, because that's really what this is. It's like rage bait. Right. And your content will grow over time. Hence what we're doing here. We're trying to grow a space that would be seemingly polarizing, because we just want to have a forum for people to come in and just hear another angle. That's the reason why I brought the whole Confederate piece. Nobody got crazy, but we are listening something from another angle, just to make sure we have dialogue popping.
And I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm just saying, drop the drip in the comments if y'all disagree, but I'm pretty sure that that's why people feel the way about the Confederate flag, is because they lost the war, so you don't get to do that. If I'm not mistaken.
No, that's
as well
real.
As representation of slavery as well.
Yeah. But at the same time, them flags and them statues is there to remind you suckers, we still got a foot on your throat. So that's why it becomes a local issue. I shouldn't pull up out of town to see how your town has still got, certain reminders of what used to be, if it's frowned upon there. You know what I mean? That's why I speak the hyper local piece. If you don't like something happening in your backyard, mow it. Mow it. Talk. Speak to some folks. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay. Well then, we're gonna get into our last the people's briefing, and then we're gonna get closer to wrapping some of this up. We ain't gonna spend too much time on this because y'all know the Obama Center was open. So let's go ahead and hear a little bit of that. This Michelle speech, because we talked about how she be talking about her husband. So
yeah.
You told me all those years ago that you couldn't promise me the world, but you could promise me an interesting life.
Aww.
And of course, you outdid yourself and managed to give me both. I know it hasn't always been easy, but there hasn't been a single second through this experience that standing by your side hasn't left me in awe. 8 years in the crucible, and not once did you melt from the heat. Not once did you let it harden you. Instead, you used it to reveal your truest essence, your stubborn optimism and unflinching courage, your dazzling brilliance and unpretentious decency, your ferocious work ethic, and absolutely unshakable moral fiber.
Shout out to the speechwriters.
Well, I mean, I'm actually happy to actually hear a damn coherent speech. At this point, like just being for real. Like, is at least it's something that's not off the cuff, like that. Like all riff though, like jazz.
Pete be on trash, y'all. I don't care what nobody say. Pete Hegseth be on trash. I don't care what nobody say. Today, we're coming here,
Stifler, man.
and we're gonna blow this mother up. Like, whoa, Pete, what's
but I'm saying what I'm saying because after a year of podcasting,
I was gonna say I'm surprised.
I would have loved to hear some of these points, some of these greatest greatness of Obama instead of I ain't want to do this shit. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't rocking with him like that.
The worst was I would never have a son like him.
Right. So shout out to the speechwriters, y'all. They did their thing. They made sure that he could hold his head up, a little bit more. You could actually see his hairline instead of just seeing his scalp with his head down. Like, damn, she did it again. You know what I mean? Like I teared up. I was like, wow, she might like him a little bit, y'all. This was awesome.
It was actually good. Yeah.
It was moving. I'm like, that's what's up. I'm like, because he deserves more than the way she's painted him over the, and I know a lot of it was for clicks and whistles. I know that. But
right.
Still, it just was like, damn, you were married to a president though. Like, imagine Jimmy Carter's wife going on the Tonight Show and just dragging it. You know what I mean? When she was out here. Like, that's all I'm saying. I don't know.
I mean, and really what I like about that particular president is that it like shifted the psyche of the world, and it kind of put us on the world stage in a different light. And then, right or wrong, big policies or not, there's things that are in place that people still use today that they hate to call Obamacare and all that kind of stuff. But what else you got right now? You get what I'm saying? So just things like that are marketed in a different way just because somebody was, black. And so for me, I would go into like a business angle, but I'm kind of tired of going in that route. So I'm done.
We can't sell her.
Nah.
No, we gonna move on because the thing is about selling is we gonna come back to this later, but it ain't all rainbows and sunshines with their new building that's open. Allegedly, some contractors ain't getting paid. Some black contractors ain't getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
So as we give the comments and the whoop, 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 whoop,
The Jubilee.
We know Stevie got paid.
Losses ranging from hundreds of thousands to tens of $1 million.
Getting paid. In what sense is celebrating Juneteenth if our black contractors are not getting their money? My name is Omar Sharif, president of the African American Contract Association. I've been in business since 1989. I never seen this happen since I've been in business. Even when I worked with Chicago Urban League, so many of our black contractors are complaining about they have not got their money. But the other side of it, a lot of the black community and the newspapers do not know that these people have not been paid. Some of the people have put their mortgages up, they're going to lose their bonding, their rate in their bonding company. They're going to lose their relationship with their supplier, as well as their banker may want to bring in their note. So they're afraid to talk about these things, but they tell me in privacy that these things are taking place with them. And they're scared to death about talking about it, some of them. Some of them will hang up the phone on you and just say, I don't want to talk about that, and bye. Yeah, we met with them on several terms, but that's when they told us they had to stop conversation about it because they all signed a non-disclosure. And we're that bridge over troubled water for them. Not only they're going to be at financial risk, they are going to not be able to work on other major projects that we try to place our contractors on. And some of our biggest contractors are being hurt and hampered by this matter. Some of our contractors are already in bankruptcy. That's what they're saying, that if it wasn't the fact that they worked on this Obama project, they would not be under this type of problem filing bankruptcy for protection. So all we ask them to do is to pay them their money, work out the deal so that they can be happy of the place being opened up and they could see some relief. That's a bad signal to put out, the fact that 7 to 8 to maybe 10 of our contractors in our community going to be eliminated from doing business because of the debt that they incurred on this particular project. And they're leaving those contracts, deserting them, telling them they go be whole, but they ain't seeing no signs of it. They keep meeting with them, keep kicking the can down the line. They should just tell them when they could get paid.
This isn't just an Obama thing. This is actually something that's rampant within the construction industry as a whole too. So
Yeah. No, definitely, yeah.
people build shit and they don't get paid and they gotta sue in order to get money and all that kind of stuff. That's the sad part of the business.
Yeah, I just thought it was scary when, by request, Obama family and others involved said, hey, we strictly want our Black contractors involved building this monument. I'm like, pay these people, man. I mean, and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they don't stop the business from businessing because whether they was Black or white, everybody still got to do it. But it just makes it bad because usually your Black businesses don't have the runway, leeway,
and that's where I was getting.
Yeah.
That's where I'm getting at, because we're talking, unfortunately, when you say Black business, it almost equates to small business in a lot of sectors, right?
Yeah.
And the issue is that these people, you know, they don't have the financial backing to take those L's and keep pushing.
To float like that, yeah.
Yeah, they don't have it. It's kind of the same thing when you got people like even in education, right? You got people that do these programs in these school districts, right? And they live off grant money. Like grant money is their bread and butter. They have to get the grant money in order to pay Peter and Paul that work for them. Same thing in this situation. Like, you know, they don't have the means to keep going. And now it's embarrassment. Plus, I'm hearing there's even like some political pressure there to not speak on it. Hence the NDAs that got signed. Hence the, do you want to work in this city elsewhere ever? If you go loud with this, speaking of how you haven't been paid, there could be repercussions. So it's just like,
yeah, because you already know, like when it comes to political commentary and or commercials, like that's going to be something that the opposing side will hang their hat on, as far as, you know, smearing and stuff like that.
And that's what they're doing right now. Which to me, I'm like, Republican, Democrat, who cares? Pay these people. They built something. They built something that's going to be there, and it's something that actually contributed to a huge tax hike in Chicago in that area. There's been a lot of people priced out of their homes as a result of this monument being built, this library. You know, it's just so many different negatives that should be a positive. You know, you don't. I feel like, considering that this is going viral now, I don't think that family will want that stain on their name that way. I mean, it should be some people speaking up to make sure these people get taken care of like quick, because it's starting to grow legs. We're going to hear more about this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not all rainbows and butterflies. So just wanted to make sure we put a little drip on that, because we're going to go ahead and get into, make sure I got the
And shout out to Omar for speaking up for the voiceless people too. Shout out to that. He's actually friends of some of my family in Chicago. That's kind of how I kind of got wind of this.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna go into rewind and rethink. We talked about education earlier. We not done. It's so bad at the schools. The teachers is drinking at school, y'all. Allegedly.
It didn't just start.
Because these badass kids. You know what I mean?
But look how alleged this is. Okay, so it's gonna be body cam. Okay, body cam is released of the teacher coming in. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward to when they sit her down. They ask her, "Hey, you been drinking?" No, baby, I haven't been drinking. I would never drink. So okay, you're gonna take this breathalyzer. Yeah, I'll take
Until I
it.
tell you stop. Till I tell you to stay. Till I tell you to stop. Okay.
All right.
All right. Give it a second.
I've never actually seen this, so this was crazy for me.
I don't know how to do this. You're just
Me
gonna
either,
blow into
girl.
it
We
like a
learning
balloon
together
as soon as I
today.
tell you to. Take a big deep breath.
Put your mouth on it. And blow.
All right. Stop. Good job.
That must start whistling Dixie the second.
I've been drinking mouthwash,
You want to tell me
right?
the truth?
Shit.
How much you had to drink?
I drank last night.
There's no way you drank last night.
Well, I did drink last night.
Did you drink at school? Is what he's asking you. Tell us the truth.
I didn't drink at school.
That wouldn't blow that right there.
You blew 2 times the legal limit.
I did.
Yeah.
Here's our drink that you had. What's in this drink?
That's a diet.
Oh, okay. We're
anything
talking
liquor in it?
alcoholism then. That's what we're talking. We're talking.
Yeah, this is.
So if I go into the classroom, am I going to find anything else?
Look how she holding her mouth. She has a problem.
Yeah.
So where did the liquor come from? Did you leave campus?
Not today.
She not lying. She didn't leave it day. She came with it.
Yeah.
She showed up.
Let's pause this real quick. So when somebody has this, that means that it was already a stance that had been taken. This is already a standard practice for said person, and they've had now the intervention comes. So this is already something that people already knew about. It was floating around in school. This is a thing.
They've talked to her.
And everybody already knows, except for her. You know, somebody think that they just getting off with it. That's why we're here today. This is not a surprise to anybody except for her, in her brain.
Oh, they already Miss Coates already. They already knew Miss Coates had a problem. They've been talked to her about it, and now they taking it to the next level.
Right.
I've actually had to do this, y'all. By the way, like I've actually, yeah.
You actually had to be in there. This is
Yeah, I had. Yeah, same result too.
I'm sure you heard that all the.
I hear it all the time. Some people actually mean it though. Some people don't.
Okay, no more games, right? Yeah. Other than that.
My juice.
My Jesus juice, actually.
She ain't lying. There was some juice in there. See, this is what they do.
She said gin and juice.
You
went with Snoop Dogg, bitch.
She's telling half truths, so she can't say she was lying if she ever ends up in court. I see a lot of them do that. Like she said, did you leave campus? Not today. Meaning I've done it in the past. They probably told you I did it in the past, but I didn't do it today. What was in that cup? Juice.
Oh,
and we all know.
Keep going. It's about to keep going.
Gonna try again. That there
No.
is mine.
Oh shit!
I thought that was from yesterday.
Did you drink it up here yesterday?
Well, I brought it from home. So I back to that this morning.
Huh.
Did you get my phone?
This in here. I'm whatever you want.
Well, I mean,
Is my phone in here?
I didn't go through your bag. That's
You
you said
can.
first.
I know, but my thing is,
Yeah,
that's all I need.
yeah.
Did you get my phone?
You said your phone was in the purse.
Well, I thought it was on the desk, but it's okay.
Are you gonna call someone?
Well, I don't. I used to have everybody.
Got to call a
numbers,
union.
but-
That's what she got to do.
That's what she's trying to do. She
You
not
gonna
gonna
get your
get
phone and
fired.
call someone?
Well,
Is it not in there?
I thought it was on the desk. It's on the desk.
Obi is so mad. Oh boy is too mad. Right? Look at it.
It's like,
Yeah,
it's like you wasting my time. Like we know what's going on. You wasting my time.
So y'all remember the reason why I bring this up. Y'all remember when a teacher's like, "Oh, y'all kids is bad. Oh, I'm quit because y'all kids, and I can't do this because y'all kids." Yada yada yada. Y'all got problems. Some of y'all got problems. Y'all blaming it on the kids. Y'all got your own ism going on for some of you. But that's proof. We don't get to see it as students or the parents. They don't see that. That's crazy.
Students know when somebody coming home drunk because some people deal with alcoholism in their own families, so they already recognize.
I meant when they actually have the accountability part. They don't see that. I'm just saying this is a rare instance where you actually see like because if you were a kid, you're like, oh, they're not even gonna go hard on her like that.
Man,
yeah. That's all.
Of
It's
all
interesting.
Of all the unions, there isn't a stronger union than the teachers union. You could smoke
What
crack.
besides the preachers union or the priest union?
Well, they ain't even a union. They just relocate you.
The diocese, yeah.
The diocese. They the mob. That's not even a union. That's a mafia. They all know who do what. We just gonna move, brothers.
Push the papers to the left. Push the papers to the right.
But yeah,
But let
teachers
me talk about. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead on your union because
wanna
you
put
the
this
teacher man. Go ahead.
Hey, I just got to put this out there. I mean, that woman there, she might get end up in court. The union is going to appoint her an attorney. They have an attorney for her already said go. She is going to be placed in rehab, and she probably be placed in rehab with pay, because they gonna look at that as disability. They gonna make sure she cool. I've seen it. You could literally do heroin, and they'd be like, "We gonna work with Mr. Jeffries. We gonna make sure that he's cool." That's how that union is very, very strong, and that's why a lot of these teachers, they get beside themselves in a lot of situations. Like the teacher that wanted to shake and hug everybody except for the black student, stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that. You get fired, of course, but it's so blatant you have to get fired. But drug abuse, no, we gonna work with Miss Coates. Miss Coates just need a little help. Right.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
But to pull it into like why it's an issue, and really like people probably wouldn't even intervene if it wasn't an issue. The serious angle here is liability. So one incident can trigger legal exposure, right? Insurance risk, reputation loss, and staffing stress that is far beyond like an individual employee involved, because now you got other staff members looking at this staff member like, shit, if that's what's gonna happen, then I'm gonna bring my boyfriend up here and we're gonna get busy in the classroom because I don't have time to be playing around. Like I'm doing me. I have a different addiction. It's a sex addiction, and I need to handle mine. Why that she handling hers, I'm gonna handle mine. All that kind of stuff.
Not to mention parents' trust, not to mention disciplinary issues. Because if you know that there's a teacher in there drunk, then they're gonna be like, "Oh, you was drinking with Miss Coates." It's gonna become the running joke, and you know how kids are.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna have a field day with it. So, like when two teachers are dating and the kids get wind up.
What's she gonna say?
Forget about it.
I'm not drunk right now.
You heard her, right?
Right.
You left campus. Not today. I was booked up last Thursday though. I went to happy hour. Should have had a long lunch.
Yeah, but in this case, like what I want to talk about is like the empowerment piece to it, right? Parents and staff should understand the reporting channels that come from this, because we already know that no actions would have been taken if nobody said, anything. So you got that. And what happens? Documentation standards, and then from there you got escalation paths when a crisis, or actually before a crisis like this happens, because we talking about threat mitigation at this point. Because some people they not in their right mind when they be drunk. Some people are just angry as hell when they drunk too. Don't remember stuff, blackout, all kind of stuff. Sorry, kids, I was drinking dark last night. I thought I was talking about math, but I was actually whooping ass. Well, okay, well now you got a court case, Mr. Feeney. So from this angle, what we talking about getting the bag. so I'm talking about training, hustle, safeguarding yourself, safeguarding the kids. You got school compliance as part of the bag over there. You got HR policy review as part of the bag. Incident response consulting is another thing that happens. This is usually people who are like ex-police officers, or people who used to be able to work in law, and then for some reason or another they got disbarred, and so they become private eyes or consultants. So that's another way that can happen, and that's how you become more valuable after like a publicized failure. So I'd always try to take it back to how you can get the bag.
I'm dying to see where this goes though.
That's crazy. So we're gonna move along from that teacher because that was wild. But just remember what they said, and we're gonna talk about Father's Days this weekend. So let's hear about a father's experience real quick, and then we're gonna do some final drip and get up out of here.
Viral after having the cops called on him for simply bringing his 2 young daughters into an empty women's restroom at a gas station. Watch.
There is a man with his 2 little girls using the women's bathroom. I have 2 girls washing their hands. You let this lady, this woman is she's a woman. She can bring your daughters in here. She's a manager at the QT.
No, thank you.
I'm their dad.
I will bring my daughters in there. Yeah,
those
no
young
thanks.
Girls, Tyler Brodsky. Tyler, walk us through how this all went down.
Yeah. So, my daughters needed to go to the bathroom. We stopped at a quick trip, outside of Alabama on our way home to Oklahoma, and went into the women's restroom. I usually go in there, I knock and announce that I'm coming in with 2 girls, which at this time the bathroom was empty. So we're in there. This guy comes in, starts yelling, demanding that we need to leave. I should have taken them to the men's restroom, which I disagreed with. I've personally been in the men's restrooms. I just didn't feel like it was a good place to take 2 little girls. And so he was yelling, and I decided to set up my camera just in case anything happened, just to make sure everything was documented. And then that's when the police showed up afterwards when I stopped reporting, and we pretty much went on our way after that.
Sure. As a father of 2 girls myself, I have one main question. That's the only question that really matters. How did the girls react?
Initially they were upset. They were scared. Seeing a grown man yelling like that at their dad and towards them, it's a scary thing for little girls. And so I try to just do the best I could in the moment and keep them.
Drop some drip in the comments. What y'all think?
I
would have.
Business.
I
Make
would
a
have
poll.
been.
What would you do in that situation? Shoot, and
Listen.
on both sides of it. If you a mama, auntie, and you gotta take somebody in the bathroom, like, what, you supposed to have your children go in there with a stranger? Yeah, I'm I'm a different gender, right? Nah, we done already crossed this path about genders and bathrooms, and people with full on Lincoln logs talking about I belong in this bathroom. Nah, son, nah,
Also,
I
easy
can't
way
do
to
it.
that's an easy way to get your ass sued because why don't you have a family restroom in there?
Yeah, that's also true.
So yeah, play play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to have something that's wheelchair accessible, and you're supposed to have a family restroom to where I could take my girls into there. So now what? I call my lawyer, you call your boss. How you want to play it?
So first of all, I was with my dad a lot, and my dad would have never taken me in the women's bathroom. He would have taken me into the men's restroom and made sure that I walked in there with him, and we would have went in there together.
What you gonna sit on a urinal? Is that how that?
Y'all don't have a toilet? Y'all don't take poops?
Not in the gas station bathroom.
A man's gas station bathroom is going to be one of the worst places on
So
earth.
where do you poop if you have to go poop at the gas
You
station?
better not poop.
They might have one stall. They might have one stall in there, one toilet, but you ain't using that. And on
Try
top of
not
that,
to.
He said it for a reason. He said it's a reason why he don't go in the men's bathroom because the women's is usually probably cleaner and nicer. And
First of all, we about to do story time real quick. Story time, boom. Since you think the women's bathrooms is nicer,
I ain't say that.
One of my first jobs was cleaning bathrooms, and you would think that the women's bathroom is clean, baby. It's not.
I ain't never.
I'm trying to figure out how they getting pee on the floor. How?
Because somebody got a Lincoln log in that bathroom. That's why.
It was an octagon that went in there. It was
For a chick, for a woman, how did she miss the bath? How? Like, Josh will drip in the comments, ladies. Let me know how they pee on the floor.
I'm gonna tell you how, because she didn't put her anus on that seat, and she did that wiggle.
And some people just don't have like the streaming mechanism. Like they got a real lax.
Then they need to take that paper and sit.
Hey,
you got to sit there with that damn toilet seat is already wet. You would have put wax paper on piss.
They know.
Ooh, yeah.
You talking about if it was already peed on? You talking about if it's already peed on?
It's been already peed on. Like there's no way that it wasn't peed on.
And she gotta go. She ain't got time. She gonna do what the last chick did. I'm about to squat in the corner. I got to go. You open the door, Brittany. She taught some shit. Whoever was there before me did it. I'm following procedural system.
Disgusting.
No one sat on the toilet. Yeah.
Disgusting.
You remember that movie, A River Runs Through It?
But you know what though? If I was in the bathroom and some guy was like, I have $2 and I'm coming to the bathroom, like him announcing it, like if he announces that, then I would be like, hold up, give me a second, I'm gonna be right out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like then that's fine. But my issue is that he was already in an empty bathroom. So you coming in there tripping for no reason because nobody was in the bathroom. No woman is gonna be mad because she's a mother. She could be a PDF file. I absolutely would not allow somebody like. No, I have checked on somebody's kid for them before though. Like their daughter was taking a long time. They're like, hey, my daughter, she went in there. Can you just call out her name? I'm like, hey, such and such name. Your daddy asking for you. And like usually I left the door open so he could hear that I'm talking to her. Like I'm not trying to have no problems. She's like, I'm okay. Like she said, she all right. You good? He's like, yeah. Just can you tell her this? Tell her. Okay, cool.
All right, just trying to make sure she's conscious of shit.
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
be there passing out on the bathroom because you were a teacher and you've been drinking and stuff, and now all of a sudden,
Shit, it was just my juice, baby. It was just my juice.
Right. My Kool-Aid.
Hold on, though. Why? But I'm looking at the gas station attendant. Why are you in the women's bathroom while my daughter's is in? Who invited you to the pee party?
Right, because I'm mad at you in there. You about to mess up my camera angles. I mean, huh? What?
Yeah, he was filming too, which was weird, right? No one talked about that either. Like, why was
No,
that?
Well, no, the dad was filming himself when
yeah,
they
he
was
said he
washing
started
hands
filming it when he opened that
when
door.
he came
said
in
he
there.
started filming. Yeah.
Because he knew he might have Wolf's mask, and then flush his head
And
into
I'm
the
gonna
commode.
tell you right now, somebody would have pulled up and said that if my dad with the door open, hey, you about to? I'm like, Dad, you about to let him talk to you like that? He need a whoop.
Wow, instigator in chief.
First of
He
all,
need a whooping. Coming in there, he don't know who you are.
I'm coming in there like this. Where your damn bathroom, man? Follow me if you want to. You might get your ass whooped.
But
Bad.
you open the door like that, if you think you gonna pop off, I definitely would have been like, so Dad, you gonna let him talk to you like that? That's crazy.
What are you doing? Look, what are you doing in here? What are you doing in here?
My dad.
You gotta have that
The
camera.
90s was a crazy place, y'all.
You'd have got the smack walk off.
Allegedly, yeah.
Cash is paid. No, allegedly. My daughter's is in there. He would have got the smack walk off. And Cash is paid. Know that story. Come here and explain to me why you in here.
And Joe, you be all right. And Joe, you be all right. You be all right. Talk about the nastiest conversation.
I mean, he's not down with OPP, so I mean that's the reason why other people's piss
or just pee. Finally, y'all, we gonna get out.
As you could drip this segment, call it OPP.
Yeah, so we gonna drip on out of here. We're gonna drip on out of here with a little bit of Juneteenth because today is wrapping up Juneteenth.
Speaking of piss, we gonna drip on out of here with.
Yeah, we're gonna drip on out of here. So we're gonna go ahead and drip on out of here to end out Juneteenth, y'all. Las Vegas actually has a celebration, so it's pretty cool to somebody celebrating it.
Today is Juneteenth. The holiday marks June 19th, 1865, when enslaved people in Texas were told they were free, though the Emancipation Proclamation ended slavery 2.5 years earlier. Word traveled slowly in those days, so Juneteenth celebrates the day the last enslaved people in the U.S. learned they were free at the end of the Civil War. The city of Henderson is hosting its annual Juneteenth festival. It's happening tonight from 6 until 10 at the Water Street Plaza. The free event features live performances, local vendors, and a chance to reflect on their cultural significant day. Visitors can bring their own chairs and blankets.
Right, BYOC.
Juneteenth, otherwise known as the day that people got mad as hell. You mean to tell me how long, motherfucker?
And like we got houses and stuff already built, bro. We got a whole economy. You can pull up.
I'm about to go. Did you know? Did you know? Yes. Hold on a second. I gotta go whoop some ass.
Yeah, okay.
Where the bathroom at?
That's when you got to pay. Hey. So
this was a great show.
That's it. So that's the end of the show. Wanted to drip out because it is Juneteenth. Just wanted to give a little drip on that. Shout out to everybody who came and attended the show. We'll be here next Friday night like we are every Friday night, 11:30 p.m. EST. Make sure you drop some drip in the comments. Let us know where you're from. Yeah. If you haven't been to the community tab, go ahead and do that. The community tab. We have a nice little poll. It should be pretty interesting. So check that out. Make sure y'all vote. If you would like to see other types of content or a specific type of content, let us know too. Check out our previous videos. We have lots of content on our page. Very much appreciated. Check out all the socials we're on. My name is Jim Jones. I'm your co-host. And along with me is that guy.
Me. Plain thing. The plainest one of them all. I am here. And this has been a great ride. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Father's Day to the real fathers, not the ones that just, pay child support, the one that go actually support their child. And shout out to my man Joe and his public bathroom discussions that he's having in the comments. Elon Musket, please come back through. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you to all of the I squads and you that stayed with us this whole time and enjoyed the ride with us. Thank you. I'm gonna steal her joint.
I got something new. There you go. On the spot.
That's a good one. That was a good one. I like the pivot. She said.
We'll see y'all next Friday. We out. Bye.
Hey.
I'm taking it back.
Skyline kisses the moonlit tide. Cool breeze follows, take that ride. We're glad and smooth, no need to hide. Feel the groove, feel the vibe deep inside. Baseline humming, hearts align. Time stands still, it's our design. Drop our daily flow. Jam and day, you already know. Drip, drop, watch the city glow.